So, good afternoon, dear friends. Welcome back to this fourth session of our annual JDSN seminar. So, we have three parts here. The first is we'll have a video presentation, and then we'll have a panel discussion, and then it is followed by the guest speaker will be addressing us. So, first we'll have a video presentation on the it is the video presentation is on the Pride Rally of LGBTQIA plus that was conducted in Pune. So,
அடியன் கால மயில் குயிலே அடியன் கால மயில் குயிலே குயிலே கலவே ஒயிலாலே என் அற்புதமே சொற்பதமே அடியன் பெண்ணே மனோர்மணியே அற்புதமே என் பணமே பெண்ணே மனோர்மணியே அடியன் கண்ணே சிலோர் மணியே கண்ணே சிலோர் மணியே
now we move on to the panel discussion. I invite Father Melroy to chair this session.
Good afternoon, my dear friends. Welcome once again to the seminar Beyond the Binary. I hope you had a very good lunch and a good rest and are ready for another round of an enlightening session of understanding the transgenders and also to understand how are we to relate with them. This is the fourth session of the seminar. And we are going to have the panel discussion right now, as already said. This is a time when we can have a general discussion about all the themes and themes that we have already discussed from yesterday onwards. So it's open to anyone who would like to ask a question or to make a comment, and the presenters are going to give us would respond to us. So I wish to first of all invite on the podium we cannot have all the presenters here on the stage, so we will be having three presenters from Satyanilaya and three presenters from JD on the stage, while the others will be seated here in the first row, so we can have them to respond to the questions that come in. So I call upon Vivian Floyd Saldana, Anand Abhinav, and Arokya Pradeep from Satyanilaya to come on the stage, and Sahaya Ravi, Rejoy Johnny, and Dipti Francisca to come on the stage from JD. The other presenters could occupy the place in the front, on the first row. Okay, so we have just 25 minutes for this session, and we have to wind up by 2:55. So again, so anyone would like to ask any question or make a comment, we can begin now. It could be anything related to this, to whatever we have been discussing from yesterday, today, we can bring it forward. Yes. Father Henry. The mics.
So I appreciate all the presentations. Maybe my own ignorance, I want certain conceptual clarity with regard to certain terms used here. That is LGBT, QIA plus. I want to know exactly what is the continuity and discontinuity in this spectra. I hope I made myself clear. Certain distinctions. Suppose when I say A or I, what is the exact distinction? Otherwise, I think our discussion doesn't get focused enough.
Okay. The question is about having some conceptual clarity.
Yes, for responding to your question, from the book which we have referred, it's about 101 questions about transgender by Nicholas M. Tisch. So first, L is about lesbian. It's between women, so they are having attraction, both women, they have attraction towards each other. That's lesbian. Then second one is gay, where men have attraction between each other. Then LG, then we have T.
B.
Yeah. Then we have B, that is bisexual, that is those who are sexually and romantically attracted both to men and women. And LGBT, that is then we have T, that is transgender. So transgender is those who have changed their gender, let's say. For example, a man who is having the body of a man, he's a boy, but he feels the attraction, not attraction as such, he feels that he is not a man in himself. He feels that when we did our empirical research, we asked a question that how do you come to a conclusion that you do not belong to this particular gender that is not physically attributed to you? What she said is, when I look at I am a boy, but I have a feeling of a girl, that what she said was, it is not I'm having an attraction, but I learn who I am from the other side. So when I look at a girl, so this is how a girl walks, and I correlate my feelings with her. And when I see how she dresses, I feel that the way that people looking at me as a boy, giving the clothes of boy to me, but I don't feel comfortable. So there also comes another question, is it psychological or biological? So what the example that she gave was, for example, you are studying to become an IAS, and that time she was saying, so one who wants to become an IAS, who would burn the midnight oil, study everything, and become one. That is just a material thing. But this is what I am really feeling within. And for that, I do not need any force from outside, but I need what I feel intrinsically, and I apply to it, and I become one. So that is what we say about the T, transgender. So my gender is not, it is not fixed. So the nature which has made the flaw, but she feels within and she corrects it. That is the thing.
And Q.
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 Q is queer. That is an inclusive term or an unique celebration of not molding to social norms. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for queer, I'm not very sure about.
Sister also would like to maybe add to.
The whole of the the whole LGBTQIA plus, they are known as queer community, and queer is kind of a collective term for them. But recently there have been various interpretations. Q also stands for questioning. The one who is not sure about, the person is not sure about his or her gender, and then the person is trying to be inquisitive about the gender, one's own gender. And then I stands for intersexuals, means they are neither male nor female, or they are both. They kind of feel that some areas of me is male and some areas of me is female. Or they sometimes, there are even pansexuals which they say that I'm neither male nor female. And A is for asexuals, who does not want, they don't have any kind of, they don't feel the need of a sexual pleasure, but then they need companionship. They don't get into the act of sex, but they have a companion with whom they can feel affection, love, that kind. And the plus stands for, like, we will keep on adding, as we explore, we will keep on adding. So gender is not binary, male and female, but there is a spectrum of genders.
Okay.
Maybe I could give little more clarity on this. As lesbians and gays, it is very clear. As homosexuals, they are homosexuals. One thing you need to understand, that this category, they are categorized as sexual minorities. So here we are talking about two aspects. One is gender, other is the sexual orientation. Morning also I said that this category came not based on gender, but based on the sexual orientation. So for us cisgenders, like, we feel like our natural orientation, male towards female, female towards male. But when it comes to this particular category, their orientation is entirely different. It could be homosexuality. If we take transgenders, born as male, becoming female, then getting attracted towards male. So there is some difference in the cisgender's sexual orientation, as well as this particular category's orientation. When it comes to the queer, these people belong to non-binary, we say them, non-binary. Binary means male and female. Non-binary is that they don't want to belong to any of these boxes that society has created. Maybe they could be male, but they will have more of feminine qualities, but they don't accept by themselves that they are transgenders. They could be male, more of feminine qualities, female, more of masculine qualities. They will have both the categories are there. But the only thing, they don't fit into the concepts of either transgenderism or male or female or anything which society has created as binary concepts. They don't like to fit into that concepts what society has created. So that's why they call them as queer. So they don't like to belong to any of the names that society is calling them. But they will have behavior pattern of, like, how these sexual minorities have that kind of behavior pattern only they have. But they don't like to put in themselves into that particular binary concept. So they are known as non-binaries. And then you have intersex. Intersex is actually more of regarding the genitalia. It is not about the identity or not about the sexual orientation. It's more of the genitalia that baby is having. Children are born with the ambiguous genitalia, where a baby has both male and female organs together. So usually in this kind of cases, doctors consult the parents and they do surgeries on babies when they are young itself. Some cases they are thrown into the dustbins, they are discarded, or they are killed by their parents or left somewhere in the hospital itself. So this kind of intersex children, because of the ambiguity in their genitalia, they are not able to decide their gender. But as they grow, their genitalia starts to change, because we are observing two babies where we got them from the KGH hospital dustbin where parents discarded, and they informed us, and we have taken those children, and they are in our observation. So slowly their genitalia changes. Some it could change to female genitalia, for some it could change to male genitalia, but it may not be formed complete a male organ or female organ. But when it comes to their gender identity or sexual orientation, it is still we need to know those things because those datas are not available. But the person whom we are taking care, she completely changed herself to female. Her genitalia is ambiguous still, but she feels that she is a woman, and she wears female attire and female behavior pattern she's having. And sexuals, yeah, you said already. And there is one more hijra, maybe I will explain it in the next session. Maybe.
Or gender identity. For example, LG, lesbian, gay, and then asexual, bisexual. These are all sexual orientations. But in the other spectrum, for example, intersex, it appears to be biological. A person is born with it. And transgender, again, a gender identity and expression comes. So is there any one factor based on which this spectrum is created, or there are various factors that come into play to create this spectrum?
That's what I said, purely based on sexual orientation.
All these things.
Yeah, all these categories are made purely based on sexual orientation, thinking that they don't have a natural way of a sexual orientation towards the other person. But as I said, to be frank, whereas intersex and transgender doesn't come under this category, because that is their natural way of getting attracted to the man or the woman, whoever it is. But by then, when they created this terminology, they only focused on the sexual orientation, not the sexuality, but the sexual orientation, which means that to whom you get sexually attracted to with whom you really enjoy the intercourse or whatever it is, to be say it clearly. So based on that orientation only, this terminology was created.
Yes. We can also have questions on the WhatsApp. You can also send questions on the WhatsApp. There's one question on the WhatsApp here, which says, country like India, where in TV show men dressed up like girls present themselves as objects of entertainment. How does it affect the transgenders? Does it have any positive vibe on them? So basically, I think the question is that men dress up like girls in entertainment and in movies and different kinds of entertainment shows, whether that has a positive vibe on the transgenders or no, or a negative vibe.
In some of the movies, we could see some men, they dress like a girl or transgenders, but some of the movies, they support transgenders projecting their struggles and sufferings in the society. But if it is against their fundamental rights, or if it is against, or if it shows the weakness of transgenders or their activities, really some transgenders, they will come out and they will protest, and the scenes will be removed.
Yes. Yeah. Any other responses? Any other questions? Yeah, and there's Father Clement.
The question to the sister. Sister, now most of the transgenders whom I have seen are a man becoming a trans woman. Now, I have never seen a woman becoming a trans man. I've never seen, but we have instances. But I think this is because of the male-dominated society, because we accept a man becoming a woman, but I don't know whether the society is hesitant to accept a woman becoming a man. What do you think about it?
It is not about society accepting it or not, it's about the visibility. If a man is wearing a lady's dress and walking like a girl and all, it is visible to our naked eye where they are prone to get discriminated or bullied wherever they are. But when it comes to a woman becoming a man, somehow it is in a way accepted. Like for example, in a family, if a girl wants to wear pant shirt and walk, cut her hair, go around, usually parents won't say anything. Parents won't think that my child is a transgender or what, trans man or what, something like that. They won't think. But they will only think she likes to be like that, or maybe if a girl is acting like more of a boy like that, parents tend to think that they are like matured enough, grown up, they want to stand on their legs, they want to do in their own way things like that. Positively we take. We really don't condemn children when they are wearing pant shirt or cutting their hair or whatever it is. But when it comes to a boy, if they start to wear girl's dress, then the abuse begins. They start to beat the boy, they start to tell the boy, you are born as a boy, behave like a boy, behave like a man. So all that begins. But whereas for girl, that doesn't happen. And the second thing is, these people, because of discrimination, these trans women, they are coming out of the families. But whereas for the girls, those who are becoming man, they don't have so much of discrimination in the family setup. But there are people, those ladies, those who want to become a man, came out of the families living by themselves. They don't want to get into marriage or anything because they feel that having this more of masculine qualities, lady, they don't get attracted to the female because they are feeling themselves as male, so they get attracted to the female. Sorry, I think I confused you. So they become male, so they get attracted to female. But for parents, for the society, when we think it is of homosexuality, but because of those things, they leave the families, they settle outside, they work and they do different kinds of things, what they like to do. But the visibility of trans men is very, very less in the society. The people that we see is 90% of them are trans women, boys becoming girls. But other categories also there, but since they are not so much discriminated and they are not so much visible in the society, we are not noticing them, that's all. But they are there. Did I clear for that?
Okay, there are two questions that have come on the WhatsApp. I will read them, but by the time anyone also wants to ask questions, can ask. One question is, if some people feel that they are in the wrong body, is the Descartes' body-mind dualism true? A very philosophical question. If some people feel that they are in the wrong body, is the Descartes' body-mind dualism true? And the second question is, can we expect transgender staffs in both institutions, JD and Satya Niraya, in near future? More practical, I think, question that we have. So one philosophical, one practical. So we can take any of the questions and we can. The second question, I think the staff fully can answer. So, the first question is the Descartes' body-mind dualism true? Can we take up that? Yeah.
Normally, an epistemologist opine that only a statement can be true or false. So, with that, I don't say whether Descartes' body-mind, this one true or not. Okay, we don't get into that particular debate. But what I can say is they don't feel out of place because they have a different alien body. No. Some part of their body is not okay with them, or they want to have only that sexual orientation or that particular organ. It's nothing to do with their body. Body is from my feet to my head, even my hair. So it is more than that, not only the physical body. So when we think it is, we cannot say that the spirit which is in an alien body, no, the sentence itself, the proposition itself seems somewhat queer.
Since the question is philosophical, let us look at it this way. In fact, no dualism, it can be upheld, substantially for a long time. Any binary, any dualism is a binary. But then, like people like the famous Marcel would say, I am not my body, but I don't have a body either. What does that mean? I cannot equate myself just with my body, nor can I consider my body external to me. In as much as I can say I have a mic, which is external to me, I can't say I have a body. I am bodily being. So in that sense, I can't just reduce myself only to my body. I think that transgender identity correctly captures that. You cannot just reduce them to their bodily identity. They are more than the body, surely, but their body is not something completely alien to them, as it is rightly pointed out by Clement. So you cannot have that binary or dualism. We cannot support Descartes' position. I think Marcel's understanding seems to be much more holistic. I am a bodily being, but I am not just my body, or I don't have a body. I think that may be a better way of understanding the transgender identity in this context. Thank you.
Yes. We have a guest speaker who is coming. So can we just rise up and just give her a round of applause? Also, I request the audience, please, to come forward to occupy the place in the front. Those who are sitting behind, please come forward. It improves the aesthetic of the room, so come forward. So, yeah. So I think we are about time now, and we come to a very important session now. Will be represented by Damini Sinha, who will be speaking on the topic life as a transgender and what we expect from the society. I request those in the podium can go back to their places. May I call upon Deepti Francisca to introduce. Yes. Oh, Sister Jayanti who will be introducing her.
Times of India, Indian Express, and Deccan Herald. She has been felicitated by PCMC Municipal Corporation for her outstanding works on LGBTQIA+ issues. She had received Annam Foundation's Achievers Award and Special Contribution Award by Film and Television Institute of India. We welcome you, Ms. Damini Sinha.
As a sign of welcome, I call upon Father Henry Almeida, the coordinator for Systematic Philosophy Department, to give a shawl, and also I call upon Edwin Luca for a bouquet of flowers. Yes.
Namaste, everyone. All the, all the, all my brothers and sisters. I was just running away to reach here because of traffic and not good condition of road. I am a little late, so I'm so sorry for that. First of all, and yeah, only telling brothers and sisters will not be enough. So it's better to call that to all. So that is because there is a third gender now. After the Transaction Person Protection Bill 2019, transgender people also got some recognition and a right to live with dignity and having a column in all the government sectors, even in public sectors, but it's not implemented fully. So there is not only female and male and female gender. Now there is transgender column is also there. So yeah, I belong to that gender, but I am a trans woman. So same way there are trans men, there are people who are non-binary, and so many spectrums are there about transgender. So it's not, it's end of the day, it's about humanity. How much humanity you are carrying with yourself, how much human you are. So that's what I am, and but being the transgender was a curse, kind of curse. But today I feel like it's a blessing, and I want to live, born. If there is another birth, then definitely I want to born as in another life as a trans woman again, because there is two things. First is society know only male and female, and if someone is different from them, then they are eunuchs or hijras. We call it hijras. That is a different culture altogether. But transgender people are not necessarily part of the hijra community, not necessarily they are hijras. And here I want to clear one thing, like people used hijra word as a abuse, but it's not. Most of you might have known this thing by now, that hijra is a word which means like the people who are coming from hijr. Hijr means atma, your soul. So the people who are coming, who are living their life from their soul, not because the way they born, so that's why they are living the life as the society has set for them. Like you have, if you are a boy, then you have to play with these toys, and you have to choose these colors, and if you are a woman, then you have to choose like these toys, like dolls and other things. And that's how society runs, and especially in India. I'm talking about India, will not include internet. Globally also I will include, like, yes. So globally it is a term, like hijra is a culture in India, and especially in South Asia. And that is, I'm not part of that. And if I'm being a trans woman and I don't want to join that culture, that means like, that doesn't mean that I'm not a trans woman. And that's how I am a trans woman, and I like to be independent. I don't want to follow the culture where I have to make a guru. I don't have any independence in my life. So that is one of the most important thing. Like people want to live independently as they identify their self. So coming to transgender term, transgender is a thing, like it's like there is no scientific thing, there is no science behind being a transgender. It's only your feelings, like how you feel growing up. So at the birth, I was, today I am a woman, but at the time of birth, my sex assignment was a male. So that time it was all the society norms and everything was set that I have to do these things, and I was totally uncomfortable with that. From the beginning, from the day when I started uh, walking, or might be I started talking. So being a transgender, it's very difficult, especially in when I born. I'm 40 years old, so 40 years back when I was born, so there was a lot of expectations were there from me. So being the only child, okay, here I want to add one more thing. My mom was in family planning, a doctor, and that time she was doing all the advertisement and everything, like awareness, like hum do, hamare do. There should not be more than 2 kids because of population and everything. But my mom herself had 4 kids only because first three were girls. My mom didn't want it, so who wanted it? This society. Because once they will die, my parents will die, they will get the moksha or mukti only if a son will do all the rituals after death. So that was the thing. That's why I born. Otherwise, I could have not born in that family, might be. So that is how I bought, and that itself was a very tough thing. Like, okay, being a boy in the whole family, for my parents, I have to fulfill all the expectations, but I was a woman inside. It's not about chromosome. Again, I'm telling you, it's not about chromosome or anything, any science behind any illness, any sickness, nothing. Even World Health Organization has declared that being a transgender person or identifying, if somebody is identifying their gender identity different from their sexual anatomy, so that is not a sickness. It's not sick. So to understand this, it took a very long time, because when I was a kid, the first day I remember when I went to school, so that time one girl was standing there before me. I was the second one who reached my first day of school. So that girl was wearing a skirt and I was wearing a half pant. So when I came back, I was not talking much to my dad. I don't know why. My dad was a very sweet person, but I'm not sure why I was not talking much. Because I was more comfortable with a woman who was my mom. So when I came back from my school, so I asked my mom slowly that I want to wear a skirt, so why you bought me a pant? I don't like it. So that day I came to know that, okay, there is boys and girls, and both wear different clothes, and that's how it started, like understanding difference between a boy and a girl. And it was every day, like I was trying very hard to act as a boy. I did a lot of things, but I was a kid and I was not able to control and being in so much in discipline that I don't have to play all the time with girls and all. So till 6th standard, it was okay. Everyone was enjoying like I was playing only with girls. I was sitting with them in school, even at home, in my colony and everywhere. I was playing with girls only. I liked to be with them only. With boys, it was very difficult for me to be, because the slangs and other kind of activities which are includes a lot of physical things. So I was not a girl who was very active and liked to play a lot of physical games like running and football and cricket. So till 6th standard, everything was fine because I was a kid. And after 6th, and it was a co-ed, and it was okay. But after 6th, when I joined a all-boys school, I was the only one who was very feminine, and that time femininity and puberty, both the things were there, not only in me, but with my all classmates and everyone. So in that school, I was the only feminine child in my class. I don't remember even in other standards in anywhere where anyone was feminine. Few were there, but it doesn't mean being a feminine person doesn't mean that he or she or they are transgender. There were guys who were feminine, but they were cisgender, and they were not they were not even gay or part of LGBTQ. They were very straight, so-called very straight. So that's how it was my journey, like the bullying and everywhere it was. Uh, it's a story. Everyone says the story that, okay, I got bullied in school. But I have lived that bullying, sorry. What is bullying in school, or what is being seen as an object with which anyone can do anything, and I'm not talking about any sexual thing. I'm talking in general, like saying anything, and how does a person who is less than 14 years, on my 14th year, I passed 10th. So 11 years old kid who was very introvert, who was the only single child of his family, means a male child. So that was a big thing, like struggling with everything. So I lived that bullying, like whenever I was walking, someone comes from behind, because everyone was hitting their puberty period, and everyone was very eager to talk to girls. That time love letters were there. There was no SMS, means there was no mobile or internet was there. So love letters and everything. And I was feeling like, why don't I feel like writing a letter to a girl? And I liked guys, and that time I was not able to understand, but guys were finding me a little feminine, the way I was walking, the way I was talking and everything. So if I'm walking from somewhere, somebody comes and kiss me on my cheeks, somebody comes and paint somewhere and make, my school dress was having a white shirt, so making marks on white shirt and everything, which I was struggling, like how could I say to my mom and dad. That era was very different from today's. That time there was nothing more than a man and a woman and a boy and a girl. There was nothing, no any third gender or no any third sexuality was there. There was only three things, and two things only, and I had to fit in one only. That was the only place for me. But slowly, I understood, like I like these things, and I have to do these things. These are my goals. These are my aims. I have to get married. I have to grow my khandan and these things ahead. I have to take everything with pride and lots of things. And in between I was struggling with myself, my identity, why I don't like girls, why I like to live like a girl, why I don't like what a man does, and why don't I look like a man. So in those struggles I tried my best. I did a lot of gymming. I tried to act like a man. I like to do everything possible, but few things are impossible. That's very natural thing, and if somebody says like being transgender is unnatural, then it's not. It's very, very wrong statement that being transgender is unnatural. Transgenders are natural, and it comes from their soul, and they live their soul. They want to live their soul. Not most of them can live, but accepting own self is very difficult for a transgender person. Same with me, it happened. Like I tried my best to become a man, but I couldn't, and I was not able to accept myself as a woman. Because it was out of my imagination or anyone's imagination that a boy can live like a woman. So that was a biggest struggle with myself. But even I could have tried to see the things in a different prospect, like okay, I'm a boy, I like things what girls do, I like these things, so I have to concentrate on those things. So I could have done better in my life, but no, I couldn't do it. That time I was forcing myself, I was not accepting myself. Slowly every all education and everything happened, and then I came to have a job, and I got a job in IT, and after that the things started, like our nature calls, like our body needs and other things. Like that time I realized that I don't like girls, so I like boys, and that's why I thought like my sexuality, there comes the sexuality. So gender identity and sexuality both are different thing. Sexuality is like what I like as a partner, to whom I like as a partner, a boy or a girl. So that time it was a guy, so I thought like I'm gay. And that was a big trauma for me, big shock for me that I'm gay. And accepting myself, it was very difficult. Only one thing was there, like my education and everything was good. And I was always studied in some places where always it was taught like don't lie, be with the truth, and same in my family it was told. So mostly I did what I did, like I tried to keep quiet rather than speaking about my sexuality, my gender identity. So I never hide my gender identity and sexuality. That was the best thing happened in my life. So when I got the job, so there was a struggle for my family, because I a guy with a short height, now I'm a little fat, but that time I was very thin. So searching a girl for a short height, thin guy was very difficult. So many girls were rejecting me, and only because of not because of my personality, but because I was earning good. I was working as a software engineer, so that's why I was getting good proposals for marriage. But I don't want to marry, so I couldn't speak at when it came for first time. And I thought like I asked my friends. That time I had few gay friends who were suggesting everything, and that was I felt very comfortable there. I seen the Pride in Mumbai, and so many things happened. I started my career from Bangalore, then I shifted to Pune, and in Pune it was little open. In Bangalore also it was little open about sexuality, not about gender identity yet. So that time I thought like being gay is okay, and I have to say, if I'm not saying, I should not deny anywhere. So I didn't, I said my family that I don't want to marry. So for few years, 1-2 year, everyone was quiet, like it will take time for me to think, and everyone gave time. But as I grown old, everyone started forcing me to get married. Why? Because I will be left alone. Thank you so much. Sorry. So it was like a marriage, because I will be left alone. Then most of the time, that time I was living alone in different cities, and I got a lot of time to think about myself. and read about sexuality and gender identity. I couldn't even imagine, and because I didn't had any idea. The society was not having any awareness about gender identity. Uh, there was only two gender for everyone. It's male and female. So I accepted that, and I said to my family that I'm gay and I am not gonna marry. Same thing happened in office, workplace, everywhere. If I go to search for a flat to rent, I have to answer my owner that why I'm 30 plus and I'm not married, why I'm not married. Then every day there was a struggle being a gay, being a male. As I, the with the birth assigned sex, it was a struggle. So how could I think about like I am gonna change my gender, or I am not the same gender I'm born with. So that was a very difficult phase for me, but by the time I almost had 6 7 years of experience, I totally denied to get married, and then I started visiting the people who are called LGBTQ plus activist. What exactly they do? Why Pride is done? Pride is being held in Mumbai and some places. So why it is there? So that was the thing. That time I started like searching so many documents. Internet was there, phone was there. So I started researching that what exactly these sexualities are, and searching by sexuality I came to know that there is intersex, the hijras we the eunuchs, mostly we know that they are eunuchs, but no, there are trans women and trans men also, as who joins the hijra community, and they are hijras. So I came to know about intersex. Okay, intersex. So if I will live like a woman, it's a sin, it's a wrong thing, it's unnatural, then what people will say about what God has sent as? They don't have any male or female organs properly developed. There is half things, or there is nothing from which you can recognize. There are very different kind of intersex male anatomy, genitalias. So that time I came to know, okay, so what are they forced to go out of their house? Then I came to know that no, hijras take them when they come at the time of birth, they check their gender and they take them. So that's how I thought like all the hijras are intersex. But not, that was also not true. That I came later. That I came to know later. So intersex made me understand that what is chromosomes and not, and how they get different gender than male and female. Then researching that, I came to know that okay, there are men who are living like a woman, and they are also part of hijra community. So what exactly, why they have done it? What is the reason? Is there a reason behind? No, there is no any reason behind, because a very hard fact of this country is only 2% of transgender and intersex people stay with their family. 98% are kicked off, or they are by their own choice they left their house, but they are not living with their family. Some of them are not connected with their family. They don't visit, the family doesn't visit. So it is like that. So that time I came to know that okay, transgender is also one thing. And before transgender, I came to know that okay, that I was doing by myself, by my own soul. Like okay, I like to wear saris, I like to wear makeup, I like these things. So why can't I do it when nobody is around? Because you can't you can't suppress your feeling for very, very long time. So that's how I started, and that was called cross dressing. And cross dressing, always I felt like I'm a cross dresser. Is it good or bad? So there are some good things also. Nothing much bad about the proper cross dressers. There is some conditions that people do cross dressing, and that is not totally wrong. And in some places, it is wrong. So because of their psychological condition, so there it is wrong, but not in most of the cases. So I was always feeling ashamed that if I am cross dressing and if somebody will see out of the window or somewhere. So it was always in the closed room, and slowly it made me feel like, why can't I go out and see that what's people reaction? So people's reaction was obviously very negative. It was very wrong. Not wearing properly like a woman, only some makeup, some lipstick, some kajal, and that made me an object in society again. Again, anyone who wanted to talk to me, they wanted something from me, something physical, something private. So again, I felt like, no, this is wrong. Then as I told, like I started visiting activists. So, and what is pride? So from there, started visiting NGOs in some days when I'm free. I was free, so that day, that's how I came to know that transgender. Okay, transgender are people who are born with a wrong gender, or with a gender with their soul does not match. So they want to live like opposite gender's life. So that day, slowly it got clear that no, I'm not gay, I'm not cross-dresser, I'm nothing, but I'm a transgender, and I want to live my life as I am living till now. So from that day, taking a decision, even after that, even after seeing so many ups, only downs, I will say, it was very difficult for me to take a decision to transition my body. Now there was a phase where I have to take decision. Living like something in secret is different, and living like changing something with changing my body itself, to match my soul. So that was very difficult for me to accept myself as a transgender. No, I can't do it. It is unnatural. It is like, how can I play with nature? How can I play with my hormones? What will be the effect of it? So because of that, I stopped everything. I thought like, no, I'm not going to play with the nature. As God has given me the body and everything, it will be like that. But I know my soul, and I will listen to my soul only. But how long? It couldn't end for life. So what happened, like after some time, I was so lonely. I knew that I'm a woman, and I'm living like a man, and I'm trying hard to live like a man, hard to be a man. So that was very a lot of depression was there, because I couldn't live like what I want. And with the age, it grown, and then I realized like, no, it's not helping me at all, living this dual life. So uh, again, I was not ready, not only because of myself. Accepting myself was the biggest struggle. Second was the society. Second was the family, actually. I lost my mom and dad by the time, but my sisters were there. So even my sisters could think like, okay, if I want to live as a woman, I can live like that. But their in-laws, my brother-in-laws and my sisters-in-laws, like father-in-law, mother-in-law, and everyone. So in India, it is like hijra ban gaya, hijra ban gaya. Speaking in English is like a very different thing, and speaking in Hindi, अरे वो तो हिजड़ा बन गया, पूरा परिवार पूरा खानदान का नाम डुबा के रख दिया. So these things were hurting very much, and that's how I thought like I should live alone. I should not be in contact with anyone. And slowly, I didn't try hard to disconnect with people and all. My sisters were always connected. I disconnected with their in-laws, all my friends who told like, no, this is wrong, whatever you are doing, you should get married. Till today, it is like there. Some people say like, think again if you can get married to a girl. So it is there. So I can't say much about it. So same thing. So I was alone, and that's how I started having a lot of alcohol, spend time alone. Most of the time after office, I wanted to be alone, and that was the phase of gender dysphoria. So depression, anxiety attacks, panic attacks, sleeping paralysis, dementia, so many things were there. And I didn't know that why it is happening, why I'm being addicted to alcohol or anything which I don't want to, which I don't want to live a life like this. Then I thought like, okay, the first step to for transitioning is psychiatrist. So let's meet a psychiatrist. One fine day, I thought like that I decided because one fine day I thought like I don't want to live anymore. What is my life? Waking up in the morning, getting ready for the office, going to office, being appreciated for my work, and then coming back and having food, watching TV, having alcohol, and then sleeping, and same thing every day, the same thing is repeating. So for how long? I thought like I have nothing to do in this world. Why I am living? Why I am breathing? Even if I won't breathe, no, it doesn't matter for me also and for other people also. I'm already dead. Then I thought like I should give myself a second chance because I'm not the one who has given birth to myself. It was some decisions which are invisible, so definitely there is some reason I'm born. So I decided to visit a psychiatrist and tell everything about myself, my feeling and everything. A psychiatrist, you can't hide anything. If you are hiding something, then you are wasting your money. So I told everything, and I didn't tell much about my gender identity or sexuality or anything. But yeah, definitely in few counselings, she told like you are struggling with gender dysphoria. You are definitely a transgender woman. So that was psychiatrist's decision, and then I finalized that okay, how I have to live my rest of my life. Like half life I already lived, so only half of it, or might be less than that, or might be more than that. So I thought like, okay, I'll do everything possible, whatever it takes to transition, to get myself, to get a body with which I can match my soul. So that's how it started, and it takes 3 months for psychiatrists to give a gender dysphoria certificate and to give approval that okay, I can go for a hormonal HRT, hormone replacement therapy. But my psychiatrist was so, in most of the trans women's case, psychiatrists are very clear that, okay, she is a trans woman. But being a trans woman, struggle starts, if you want to transition, then struggles never ends here. Here again, the psychiatrists want to test like how much, how mentally I am strong enough to hold my life after transitioning. Will I regret it? Will I regret my transitioning ever? Do I have proper moral support? Do I have proper physical support? People are standing with me, who will never leave me. So all these things includes in that. Then I had to pass that test, and then it starts like taking hormones and everything for changing the hormones inside, and that continues the surgeries and surgeries and so many things. Here I want to mention that all the trans men or women, both doesn't if they don't transition, it doesn't mean that they are not the one what as a gender what they identify themselves as their gender. Like if a person with a fully masculine characteristics in appearance, if he or she or they says like I identify myself as a trans woman, we have to accept that, because there are so many conditions. I was strong enough, financially strong, I was alone, I had not much responsibilities, and I didn't had to leave my house, I didn't had to think about my bread and butter. So I started my transitioning. Every trans woman or trans man likes, they want to transition, but there can be different situations like I might have no money for my bread and butter. Every day I had to work, then only I can eat one-time food. Financially, then mentally, I might have, doctor might have disapproved me that you are not mentally strong enough that after transitioning you won't seek for this reverse process. So these all things are there. So we have to respect a people's identification of their gender. Their appearance doesn't matter that a person is a male or female. They can be transgender, trans man and trans woman. So I'm talking about all the things about as prospect of trans women. So there are trans men also the same way. They born their sex assignment is female, but growing up they feel like they are man, and they are called trans men. So after this also, after transitioning surgery and so many things, these are not very easy things. We can speak in 2-3 lines, but it takes life. A single surgery, a small surgery takes a lot of time for healing, a lot of leave you have to apply if you're walking. You need some physical help, you need some mental, moral help, everything you need. And most of the transgenders have none of them except their own will, their own willpower. So that's how I started, and I got transition, I did surgeries and everything. I started living like a woman, but my struggle is not ended ever. Now it's more difficult that living in a different city, which is not my hometown, where my own house is not there. Every time I have to go for seeking a rental house or something, there are a lot of question marks, might be mostly silent, but no one is willing to give me house without any questions. it's not so easy. So that's a struggle. Then after transitioning, you want to change your gender in your all your Aadhaar card and all means government documents, all the documents. So there also a lot of a struggle. Yesterday itself, I went to a furniture shop and I wanted to buy something for my house, and they told like they can convert it to EMI. I told okay, let's do it. So I gave my PAN card, I gave my Aadhaar card and everything, and PAN card still was showing my old dead name, and there was a question. So in my school and college certificate, still my name needs to be changed. I have to run every day somewhere. I have to think like, okay, I have to change here. If I invested in mutual fund, I have to change there. If CIBIL score is there, then I can't change it, but I have to ask my bank to change it. I have to change in my bank, in all educational certificates, and every time on airport and these especially international flights, I have to face a lot of struggle. Why? Now people know that there is 3 genders, male, female and transgender. So still why there is a lot of questions everywhere, why people are not able to understand I was something earlier and I changed my name and gender. I have Gadget of India in my hand and it's written and everything is properly there, but still why it takes a lot of days, I can say, or sometimes months to understand a company, that a company, a person, or whatever, like why it takes a lot of time, because there is no awareness yet people doesn't know that transgender is totally a normal thing, and seeing your kid growing up as a transgender is nothing wrong. Why to expect something from your kid who doesn't know anything about their own self, and you are expecting a lot from your kid? Try to understand your kids, and the person who understood their gender identity, try to understand if it is in your family, in your colony. Never try to hurt someone because of their gender identity or sexuality, because these things cannot be changed. No medicine, no anything can change it. Yes, you can live a different kind of life, but your gender identity will not change. It will remain same. So I think like I want from society why why there is no inclusion, why there is no awareness, why don't you talk about transgenders? Only because transgender representation in India earlier, it was only as hijras who beg on the streets and who shouts loudly, who are very aggressive. Only because of that, whole transgender community cannot be judged as hijras or aggressive people. Uh, I want to say that I have never been aggressive with anyone, even in very violent situations. Also, I tried to be calm, and I rarely had complaints with anyone. Whatever complaints I have with myself, that I have spent so long to understand myself, and it was inside me. Why couldn't I understand, and why I didn't had any idea about it? I was the trans woman. I should have known this, but from where? There is no any awareness programs. There is no awareness. There is no talks between friends, between family members, between brother and sisters, husband and wife. There is no very less conversation. Now it started after 2019 and after demolition of Section 377, which decriminalizes the LGBTQ rights, being a lesbian, gay, bisexual, transsexual. Earlier, it was a crime in India and there was imprisonment. Now it's not. So after that, people started coming out. We say like coming out or expressing themselves like without worrying that I will be jailed. So from that time, it is little started, but still there are so many places, most important places like police station. If I'll go there and I complain, then first they will think like, okay, it's gonna be, yeah. Thank you. So awareness is not at all there, very slow. Let's fast it up, and as many seminars possible, as many private conversations possible, do it. And yes, definitely don't judge anyone because of their appearance. Think about if you want to judge someone, judge them on their characteristics, not on their gender, their sexuality, or their appearance. So that's all I want from society, that I have accepted myself. That was the biggest thing, biggest struggle of my life. I am not seeking any acceptance. I am seeking only a little respect, a little love. That's all. Thank you. Pardon? Okay.
So thank you, Damini, so much for your very personal sharing of your experience. You have shown us your own story. You have told us your own story, your struggles, and your hopes that you have. And it has really helped us to understand what it means to be human to one another. So now we open up the floor for discussion. We can ask questions, any questions that we might have, and any clarifications that we may want from Damini.
Miss Sinha, her story was really moving, whatever you shared. And you come across as a person of great depth. You know, the words like self, then soul, and all that you search. Wherein all this, I would just like to know, because most of us here sitting in the audience are priests or going to be priests. Some are here religious sisters. So how did you relate to God in all this struggle of yours?
Hello. Yeah. Pardon me. Can you repeat your question a little bit? Elaborate a little bit.
Okay. I said you spoke about soul. You spoke about self, accepting yourself, how you struggled all these years. And this is first time that we, the religious, most of us, they would agree with me that we are spending time with you.
Yes.
We have never spent time with a person like you or any other as such.
Okay.
So I would just like to know, in all this struggle of yours, how you related to God, because you referred to soul. So many times you referred, you said,
yes,
we are the people who live from our soul. Then you struggle with the self. So within all this, then you also mentioned that religious ceremony you said in your family.
Yes.
So in all this, how your religious upbringing has played a role, and how was your relation with God in all this struggle of yours?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. The biggest strength of mine, I will say, like as I already mentioned, the day I was thinking like why I'm living, it's not needed. I should end my life. Then I got an answer that no, I should not. I should not die. I am born with a purpose. Definitely something is there, and I am not born by myself. Uh, there is something. I born in a family where only 2 kids were required for definitely for, as my mom was in family planning, and but I was the 4th kid. So many things in my life happened. Like I trust a God a lot, and there was a time that when I was thinking like there is no need to live anymore, because there is nothing happening in my life, and even I am not interested to live. Then the question why I am born then. So definitely that time I relate like definitely God, there is a purpose of nature. I have not seen God. Nobody has nobody has seen God, but we know there is a superpower which is called God, and that's how we relate. Like in each and every struggle, we always remember when nobody is helping you, even you are not helping yourself, then only one power is there that helps. That superpower is God. And I was always connected with it. Hello. Yeah. I was always connected with it because many years, each and every day, each and every moment, there was a struggle in my life. And I wanted to end that life as like it was a piece of paper. No, I couldn't do that. Definitely that time I connected with God, and that's why I came to know a lot of things, not a lot of knowledge. And after transitioning also, after struggles, lots of struggles and everything, still I'm struggling, still I'm speaking, still I'm standing here, still I'm talking with all of you. Why? Because I am with my God, and that's the only superpower. That's the only strength I have at the end of each and every moment, I'll say. Thank you.
Over the years, you have been going around.
Pardon?
But just for the sake of your transgender female, you are called everywhere. How do you feel that? Because my example may be wrong. When you look at an animal, a dog, whatever may be the category, we look at as a dog. Afterwards only we say it's a country one, Alsatian, differentiation comes afterwards. But when we look at in an Indian society, we don't look at as a human being. The moment we look at male, female, maybe Ijada, different gender. Everywhere, just for the sake of you are transgender, you are called to give seminar, to give talk. How do you feel that? Do you sometimes feel, alright, they don't look at me as a human being just because I am a transgender, they are calling me? The perception.
Got you. Thank you so much. It's a beautiful question. So this question I asked myself so many times that I'm a trans woman, so I'm a woman. This is a proper thing that a trans woman is woman. You don't need to think about his internal organs and other parts. If it is a trans woman or woman, a woman is woman. But being a trans woman, I was always thinking like why I'm struggling so much to look like proper woman, why I want the approval from the society, why I need to look like to fit in the beauty norms of a biological woman. And then I got an answer from my inside that I don't need to. I know that I am a human being. I'm a good or bad, whatever is there, I know myself. And I count myself as a human being. And then the struggle ended. Means I don't struggle anymore to look like a woman, but yes, I want to show, I want to represent myself in such a way so I can feel comfortable. Doesn't matter other people, if other people are not aware about why transgenders are like this, why they don't look, so many people are very proud to see some trans women who are very feminine, means very looking like a proper woman, proper biological woman. So they are very proud that, oh my God, she is a trans woman, she is a trans woman. Nobody could recognize, but I recognized it, and that's the truth. So what is there to proud about? And what is wrong here? The wrong thing is there that trans women are still finding the approval, still trying to pass in the society by their looks, by their features like facial features and other features, look like a woman. No, I am a transgender woman and I want to look like a transgender woman. That does not make me any less woman. I'm a woman, and yes, woman with a prefix. And yes, people want to listen me today. That's a very big thing. That's the respect I need. That please listen to me. What I think, whatever you are thinking, that is your perspective. What is my prospect to see myself? I don't want to fit in any kind of norms. I want to live my life as I am. And every individual is different. Every individual is unique. And that's how I am also unique and different. And I'm not ashamed about anything about myself. So I don't much bother about what other thinks. But yes, I'd want to change the negative thoughts about a transgender in the society. I hope I answered it. Thank you.
Ma'am, at the very outset, I want to say that you are looking very beautiful. And you rightly point out that everyone is born natural. And the differences within us is also natural. It is a society which constructs these male, female, transgender differences. And I would like to correct one of your statements which you have made in your speech, that you spoke about this third gender. If we are born natural and our differences are natural, then how comes a third gender? I would say there is only one gender, that is humanity, that is love, that is respect with one another. That's what we all want to cherish. Thank you.
Thanks. I didn't say that male, female, and transgenders are made by society. I said like male, female, and transgender are not made by society. Society only know about male and female gender. They don't know about transgender. Most of them still don't know. So that's what I said, like it's all natural, and being a transgender is not a choice. It's a natural birth, and that we understand very late in our teenage, or might be later after that, because there is no awareness, there is no education about transgenders. And intersex, I didn't get you properly, like you talked about third gender, but what exactly was your question about third gender?
Okay, I would say there is no third gender, there is only one gender. That is humanity. Just I want to reinstate your statement. That's all.
Yeah. So yes, end of the day, there are gender, so many genders, so many sexuality, thousands of 64 sexuality and 64 plus sexualities, and gender identities also varies. Not only three, but three are more recognizable. So end of the day, what matters is like how human we are. First we are human, then the gender and sexuality comes. Think about a person who is not, differently able or disabled, I will say. uh, some disabilities like autism or anything, so they are not able to understand their gender. They are not going to think about gender identity and sexuality. Autistic kids, or some kids who are born with some mental sickness, so that is very different thing. Like if we have to always think about gender. Yeah, definitely. Whatever a person identifies as, if I am identifying myself as a woman, my gender identity needs to be as a woman. So people should respect my identification. They should not question about it. I hope I answered. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story with us. My question is related to your name. Your name, Damini. Now, is the name given by others or by yourself? Is there some significance to the name?
No, this is I'm self-made woman, so definitely my name is also given by myself. I was mature enough to choose a name of my own choice. And yes, Damini means lighting that we see on the rainy season. So, and Damini is the significance of being very strong, not being broken even in the worst situations of their life, because I have been through that. And when I was choosing my name, there was very fancy names, and I could go with them that also, but I could relate my whole life with this name, this word, and that's what I am very, very thankful to the God, and I'm very fortunate that I had a chance to choose my own name. So that's how I got this name. Thank you. It was a very beautiful question.
So any more questions? Yeah.
Damini, I'm so proud to see you so empowered, transgender.
Thank you so much.
Trans woman I'm coming across. I have two questions. One is regarding, were you ever threatened by the Hijra culture Nayaks or leaders insisting you to get into their culture or not allowing you to live your life by yourself? The second one is regarding the identity cards that the government is giving now. Since you are talking about changing your name and all that, so I thought of asking. So what is your stand on that, and is it useful that government is giving that identity cards, or it is like any other card that you are feeling? Is there a use that the government is giving identity cards now? Do you think it is useful card for transgenders?
Yes. First question I need to be clear about. What was your first question, ma'am?
First question was, there is Hijra culture, okay? Are also transgender persons are there, those who live by themselves?
Yes.
So were you ever threatened by the Hijra culture Nayaks or gurus insisting you to get into their culture or not allowing you to live your life by yourself?
Okay, thank you so much. I got you. So my answer is no. I was never threatened by any hijra gurus or anyone. And yes, definitely. Whenever I met them on the streets or any function or anywhere, so everyone was asking me, "Who is your guru? Who is your guru?" So I didn't had any guru. Then the supernatural power of God, that's my guru, and that's how I never answered like I have any guru or anything, because I don't follow that culture. And they say like, okay, you don't have any guru, yes, how come and all, but they never threatened me. And they definitely offered me to come join us. Our family is very nice, and once you will visit us, then you will enjoy a lot. Please visit us and all. So I never got a chance to visit their place, and definitely not on these invitations where there is a chance that there is a situation that that is very greedy kind of, or I can say like very with selfish motive, that you can understand that what is the intention of a person. If somebody is inviting you at your home, you can understand the intention. If your neighbor is asking you for a dinner or something, without any reason, you can feel the positivity that they like you, that's why they are calling you. But your neighbor never talks to you, but you are having some power to approve a land or anything, any construction. So that time they are asking you to come for dinner and have a good time with us. So you know the intention, then what is the intention. So that's why I never been in the situation where somebody will ask me to become their followers or anything. I never been in that situation, and I have a gift of God, my smile and my soft nature, that whenever they met me outside also, they might have thought like, okay, leave her alone. So that's why I never been in that situation. And second thing is TG card. TG card is very important for government. Government is having so many policies for transgenders. TG card is transgender card. So in that card, you can get a lot of facilities. Now, current a lot of facilities like ration. In the lockdown, there was so many things. If you were having TG certificate, then TG card, then you were getting so many facilities that time, financial and other stuffs also. It is still different. No, not all over India it is same. In different states it is different. Like in some places people are getting who are having TG card. I am not exactly remembering the name of that state or city, where the TG card holders are getting 3,000 rupees from the Transgender Welfare Board. And also Ayushman Yojana is there. So if a person is having a TG card, so as I mentioned that so many people are not able to transition, it doesn't matter that they are not, whatever they are identifying as their gender, they are not. A man can, definitely a born man is not able to change their gender by transitioning, or hormone replacement therapy, or sex reassignment surgeries. So financial reasons are always included. So if you have TG cards, so government is planning that if some person is having TG card, then in a year he or she or they can get around 5 lakhs rupees every year for their transitioning. So having a TG card is very good for all the people who are thrown out from their family, or they have left their family because of abuse, or might be emotions that they don't want to ruin their family's reputation in the society. So for them it is very useful, and slowly many things will be added. As the transgender community is marginalized and it's a minority, so definitely government is doing as much as possible, as much as till we don't demand, we are not going to get everything in plate. Thank you.
So, dear friends, thank you. Actually, we would have to conclude the session because of the lack of time. I'm sure we have many questions, but the search has to go on. So thank you for all the questions, and especially thanks, a very big thanks to Damini Sinha. She really spoke from her heart, as she said, from her soul, and really enriched us. And especially as you know, as she has shared with us, I'm sure we are going to carry this experience with us, which will help us to relate well with people who may not be like us, but we are called to accept and to understand. So thank you once again. Let us give her once again a round of applause.
Thank you, Domini, for enlightening us with your life events. It was an eye-opener for us. Thank you. I also thank Father Meldrai for making this session a meaningful one. Now we go for a break. The next and the final session will commence at 6 p.m. That session will also be the JD Extension lecture for this month. I would like to make a humble reminder that the speakers, faculty members, moderators, MCs, and the volunteers of this seminar will be joining the guests for tea in the staff lounge. Thank you.